So, good morning, Wake Forest Baptist family. First, let me say a word of thank you to all of you who prayed for Kathy and me. We did have COVID last week. She, of course, had no symptoms at all, but I more than made up for both of us. But we're all doing fine and just appreciate all the prayers and concerns and food and cards and just you being church. Thank you. That meant a lot to us. And I continue to pray for all so many of you that I'm hearing every day is having it. And so I guess that's kind of what I want to speak to today. I feel like a word of pastoral care is needed. I'm your pastor. I hear every day how tired you are. Had a text today from one of our most faith-filled persons who just talked about how fatigued this COVID just going on and on has allowed her to feel. Just the other day, somebody in my office saying how sad she was, how it feels like a sad time. Not only the weather is coming again this week, but the COVID, of course. And she talked about even empty grocery store shelves. It just made me think we all have different threats and all have different things that are making us tired and fatigued and sad and just scattered, if you will. I'm not worried about empty grocery store shelves because I don't go to the grocery store. But I am worried about empty pews on Sunday morning. That's my world. And so we all have different things, don't we, that concern us and threaten our souls and are just beating us down with the never-ending the seasons that we're in right now. So I want to say a word of pastoral care. Praying for you, caring about you, missing you so much, so many of you. So for me personally, in my own season, when I can't even talk very well still from COVID and all that, there's four corners around my life that I always want to be sure are checkpoints. And am I being faithful to those because of what they mean for the health of my soul? Number one, and I think one of the great ones, is simply, how am I doing with my spirit of gratitude? You know, the psalmist said, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." As long as I can keep finding reasons to be grateful, and there are many every second and place I turn, then that kind of changes the whole scenery for me. I remember how blessed I am, even in the seasons of COVID and bad weather and church attendance and what have you. Being grateful. The second thing is when I'm really having a down day, and I have those days, we're all human, to just change the focus for me and change it to a focus on others. Get on the phone and call somebody, go visit someone, do a good deed for someone else. When I'm focusing on others, I'm not focusing on myself. And I can be very tempted at times to just look at how things are only with me. But when I look at others and give myself to others, and that's the wonderful thing I've always said about being a minister. My life is to serve others. And so that helps my soul. The third one, which may not sound very spiritual, but trust me, it is. And that is to exercise. I've told my daughters so many times, it's the cheapest therapy there is. It's one of the best therapies there is. You know, the body and soul are close neighbors, and what affects one affects the other. And so just even in your own home, just get up and when nobody's looking, just do something stupid in front of a video on TV or whatever, and do some exercise. And last but not least is to continue to build up your devotional life. Excuse my voice. It's going to be better by Sunday. I'm counting on it. But your devotional life. And this is why I'm so concerned that many of you have gotten out of the habit of worship. I know there's a safety issue for some, and I respect that. I know that others are watching faithfully online. But this sense of isolation is one of the biggest threats in this whole COVID season. And to neglect coming together as the Bible tells us we are to do in worship and uniting with one another and finding fellowship and strength for one another. God help you if you're living on your own and kind of managing on your own. So worship, community, coming together is critical. And I invite you to do that this Sunday. Come on out. See what a difference it makes. I can't wait for a better voice. I keep saying that. It's going to happen. But back in Advent season, I preached from Isaiah. The words of the prophet said, one day the desert will blossom. One day. One day the wolf will lie down with the lamb. One day. One day a child shall be born yet again. One day. It's all a reminder to me that there's something going on that we can't see but can only trust. And I want to invite you to trust that there's more going on in this world right now than maybe all the newscasts and all the headlines seem to broadcast. I came across a verse just yesterday that spoke to me. It said, Luke 24:49 says, but tarry ye in the city until you are clothed with power from on high. It's tarrying season, and I don't like it. We're having to wait. We're tarrying, and it's long. We wonder how long it's going to be. But it says to clothe yourselves. I got clothed this morning, thank goodness. Aren't you glad for that? But what do I clothe myself with in terms that is reflective of the power that is on high? So the last thing I want to say to you as your pastor, be kind to yourself. You're doing the best you can. None of us has a roadmap for how to navigate these seasons that we're in right now. We don't know how long the journey is going to be. So just put those four corners around your life. But most of all, put God in the center of all of your expectations. You're doing the best you can. Be kind to yourself. And here's what I invite you to do at last. Think about how God is looking at you right now. He loves you. He's so delighted in you. He wants so much for you. And he wants you to put your life in his hands. One day, we don't know how long, but call me, write me, email me. I'm your pastor. If you're having one of those days, just share it, and I'll share it with you because I love you. So have a good day.